Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Can you believe that it's December already? I can promise you that this year is a year that most of us want to forget. It's almost like we take 2020 and we drop it into, a trash can, and then we forget about it. It's like this year never happened. Today is Tuesday, December 1st, and I want to give you some brand new stimulus information. Before I jump right in, my name is Dr. Chhoda. If you don't know anything about me and if you're new to our channel, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Let's just jump right in. A group of lawmakers, a bipartisan group of senators, and you'll see this article on your screen that was published today in the Washington Post. A bipartisan group of senators are preparing and are about to release a $908 billion stimulus bill. So that's almost $1 trillion. And they're trying to break the partisan logjam. Now, in case you've been following my channel, you know that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on this side, hello, Speaker Pelosi, wants $2.2 trillion. And as far as House Speaker Pelosi is concerned, the Democrats have already come down from $3.4 trillion, which was in the HEROES Act, the original version of the HEROES Act that the House passed back in May, which again seems like a lifetime ago. By the way, in this environment, anything that happened last week seems like a lifetime ago. And so as far as the House Speaker is concerned, the Democrats came down from $3.4 trillion to $2.2 trillion, which was the updated version of the HEROES Act in all the discussions and the negotiations that went on before the election. The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, on the other hand, wants to stay at right around $500 billion. Now, there was some talk that some Republican senators would go higher than that. But the fact is, right now, the economy needs help, regardless of where we end up. I think we can all agree that the economy needs help. Individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality have been significantly impacted. Long-term unemployment, permanent unemployment, individuals who've essentially lost their jobs permanently, who've been unemployed for 6 months or more, is on the rise. So the economy definitely needs help. So wherever they end up, there needs to be some sort of a consensus, and there needs to be consensus quickly. So again, let's get back to this article on your screen. And the headline of the article reads, the package comes amid signs that the economy is weakening, but so far it does not have buy-in from the White House, because keep in mind the president is going to need to sign something for a bill to become law, and it doesn't have buy-in from congressional leaders. So it needs to get buy-in from both sides of the aisle. Now keep in mind, I did do another video in the past on our channel talking about the proposal from the Problem Solvers Caucus, which, by the way, I want to be clear, the Problem Solvers deserve a lot of credit because they actually jump-started the discussions between the U.S. Trade Secretary Steven Mnuchin and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. In fact, the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows went so far as to say it was a good framework for an eventual stimulus bill. But you know and I know what happened before the election, and what happened was nothing. So this new effort from more influential lawmakers, not just lawmakers like the Problem Solvers Caucus, who, let's just be honest, I'm being honest here, they had the right intention, but they had no influence. Washington, D.C. and politics, and to a large extent life, is all about influence, not just ideas. Because you see, you can have the best ideas, but if you don't have the influence to take those ideas forward, unfortunately, they're not going to go anywhere. This particular proposal, the $908 billion proposal, does have some influential people behind it. So now let's take a closer look at which senators are pushing this bipartisan $908 billion proposal, and more importantly, what's in the proposal and whether it's likely to go forward. Let's just jump right in. So we have Senators Joe Manchin, who's a Democrat from West Virginia. We have Mitt Romney, who's a Republican from Utah, and we have Susan Collins, who's a Republican from Maine. Now, these are influential senators, specifically Susan Collins, who's someone that President-elect Joe Biden actually reached out to after the election, because he believes that individuals like Susan Collins can be made to, may be able to vote in favor of the Democrats on key pieces of legislation. These are definitely 100%, these are more influential individuals than individuals in the Problem Solvers Caucus. So, in fact, let's show you this on your screen from the Washington Post, and I'm going to quote the Washington Post. With negotiations between congressional leaders at an impasse, rank and file senators in both parties have for several weeks discussed putting together a bipartisan proposal that could break the logjam. So several centrist and deal maker types in the Senate, including the 3 senators I just mentioned, are expected to push their new bipartisan agreement as a template for legislation that could pass Congress as the economy faces more strain from a surge in COVID cases. Now, let me be as clear as I can. the $2.2 trillion stimulus that the House Speaker Pelosi wants, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the Senate Majority Leader is going to allow that to happen. However, the $500 or $600 billion stimulus that the Senate Majority Leader wants to happen, I do believe that there's a high probability we can end up somewhere in the middle. I've said this before on my channel. I believe stimulus is likely to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how much. You've heard me mention this on my channel before. The one thing you'll find on our channel is I'm not going to give you false hope. I'm not going to lead you on. I have a lot of respect for our audience. I want to make sure that I provide you with the right information because I do believe that you can handle it. I'm not going to lead you on and say $1,200 stimulus check approved. I know that the needs of our audience, the needs of our fellow Americans are much more fundamental. It's about keeping food on the table. It's about keeping the lights on. It's about making sure you pay rent. So I want to make sure that I provide you with the real news, with the actual news. So let's take a closer look at what's included in this bipartisan $908 billion proposal. This plan is set to be released in the next couple of days. And this plan attempts to reach a middle ground on numerous issues that have been very contentious issues for both sides. So this plan would provide $300 a week as a federal booster for unemployment benefits. Now, keep in mind, obviously, this is half of the $600 a week booster that expired at the end of July, but it would still be a lot of relief for tens of millions of our fellow Americans. So $300 a week in a federal unemployment booster, as opposed to the original $600 a week. Also, this $300 a week federal booster would be available for 4 months under this proposal. Again, it would be available for 4 months. In addition, there would be $240 billion in funding for state and local governments. Keep in mind, this is a key priority for the Democrats. The Democrats want funding for state and local governments. In the updated version of the HEROES Act, they wanted north of $400 billion. In fact, the numbers were $436 billion. This proposal aims to give them $240 billion. And prior to the election, the president had repeatedly said that the Democrats wanted a bailout for poorly run Democratic states, poorly run blue states. It became a political hot rod, if you will, and it became a very contentious point of discussion between both sides. Now, this also includes a 6-month moratorium on some COVID-related lawsuits against firms and other entities. Keep in mind, this was a key priority for the Republicans, more so than the Democrats. So that was what was included in this proposal. Keep in mind, this is a proposal at this point. This is not yet a bill. And this proposal aims to bring the two sides together by including the high priorities from both sides. I would go so far as to say it includes the best ideas from both sides. Now, some of the other senators who are actually pushing this $908 billion bipartisan proposal include Jean Shaheen, who's from New Hampshire, Democrat from New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan from New Hampshire, and Mark Warner, another Democrat from Virginia, as well as Angus King from Maine. And actually, Angus King caucuses with Democrats, Senators Richard Durbin from Illinois, and he's the second-ranking Democrat in the Senate. They have also been involved in the discussion. So as you can see, a lot of influential individuals have indeed been involved in this. And among the Republicans that are involved, and I did mention some of the Republicans earlier, we have Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska and Bill Cassidy from Louisiana, who's also involved, in addition to Mitt Romney and Susan Collins. So you can see that some really influential senators are actually involved, and this bipartisan agreement also includes $300 billion in funding for small businesses through the Paycheck Protection Program. It includes $40 billion to assist hard-hit transit agencies and rental assistance for those who are facing eviction, as well as $50 billion in healthcare, which is included to help. There's money to help distribute the vaccine. There's money for testing and tracing of the virus. So at this point, the information that we have is it is not going to include a second round of $1,200 stimulus checks, because the idea was to keep the overall price tag down. But keep in mind that the $1,200 stimulus check has been supported by both House Speaker Nancy Pelosi as well as, right there, President Trump. But guess what? None of this is going to happen without the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. That is where things stand right now. I'll leave you with a thought from Chris Coons, who's the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware. Coons said this in a recent interview. He said, and I'm quoting him, "We are months past the point where we should have had a bipartisan agreement to provide another strong round of stimulus to meet the needs of American schools and students, those who are facing eviction from housing, the needs at communities have got for the distribution of vaccines. So clearly, we need more help, and clearly some of these more influential senators are putting their names and the weight of their reputation behind a bipartisan bill. I'm going to say this once again. I do believe that we will see a second stimulus. It is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when and how much. You can depend on me to provide you the actual news, the latest news as it comes out. If you found the content in this video beneficial, please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS alerts list moving forward. Now, if you want, you can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get added to our email list going forward. You'll get breaking news, you'll get alerts. If I release any training programs, you'll get information about those as well. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. No worries about that. Now, keep in mind, sometimes YouTube does not always send out notifications on time when we release new content. All you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you can visit the homepage of our channel, and then you can watch our videos at any point in time that you want. You're not dependent on notifications from YouTube. Speaking on notifications, if you want to follow us on Instagram, follow us at ignition_time. That's our handle, ignition_time on Instagram, and you'll get exclusive news and content on Instagram. Speaking of exclusive news and content, you can get breaking news alerts from us on Twitter. Simply follow us at ignition_time on Twitter as well, and you'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. So make sure you do that. As always, if you learn something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please ignite that subscribe button. Please ignite that notification button, because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Please share this video with friends and family if you learn something new, because our goal is to give you honest news, true news. We're not going to give you any false hope or hype on this channel. This is not a one-dimensional channel. This is a channel about the country, about the economy, and about money. This is not just a channel on stimulus news and unemployment benefits. This channel will help you get to the next level, because I have big goals, big aspirations for my viewers, for my subscribers, and for the community. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below, so you can verify any of the content. You can check out the content on your own at any point in time that you want. And please comment below. Engage with our community. Our community is bipartisan, it's respectful, it's intelligent. You might make some new friends in our community. So make sure you engage in a healthy debate, a healthy, respectful debate in our community. Thank you so much for watching. One last time, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.